next is the Shiva Mula mantra. I request now all the participants and all the viewers to please chant the Shiva Mula mantra along with us. The Acharyas will be chanting out loud. Request all of you to please chant it internally with us. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 The next is the Sankalpa. The next is the Tattvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing. I request all the participants and all the live viewers to please have your Panchapatrams and fill with some fresh water. Now, keeping your right hand the Gokarna Mudra, bend your index finger and cupping your palms. Pour in the water in the center of your palm. Sip the water 3 times as the word Swada is chanted. Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Swada. Om Vidyatattvam Shodhayami Swada. Om Shivadattvam Shodhayami Swada. Please wash your hands with water from the Panchapatram. Now, with the base of your right hand thumb, move the hand from right to the left of your lips twice as we chant the mantra. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Wash your hands with water from the Panchapatram. Now, with the tips of your right hand, index, middle and ring finger, touch above your upper lips and below the lower lips. Wash your hands with water from the Panchapatram. Now, with the tips of your right hand, index, finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the tips of your right hand, ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, left ear and your left ear. Wash your right hand with water from the Panchapatram. Now, with the base of your right hand thumb and little finger, touch your navel, right chest, left chest. With the right hand fingertips together, touch the top of the head, right shoulder, left shoulder and your heart center. The next is the Sankalpa. Now clasping your right hand above your left hand and keeping both the hands in your right thigh, close your eyes. We will are chanting the Sankalpa mantra. Mamopata samasta durita kshayadvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshena Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhaditau Purana Arogya Yukta Dridagatra Yogika Sharira Siddhyartham Paramashiva Shakti Avishkaranartham Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasam Karishye. Please wash your hands with water from the Panchapatram. Om Apa Upa Sprishya. And we request all the participants to please keep your Panchapatrams aside. Let it not come in your way when you're doing the Nithyananda Yoga. A quick reminder for all the participants before we enter into Nithyananda Yoga that all the teachings and instructions given to Nithyananda Yoga are intended only for general wellness and education purposes only. They are not to be taken as or used as any alternative. Yes, sorry for that. They are not to be taken as or used as a replacement for any professional medical advice, diagnosis, or any treatment. If you have any known health condition, illnesses, injuries, diseases, please consult your medical health professional or your doctor before participating in the Nithyananda Yoga. At all times, please follow the advice and guidance of your medical health professional. If during the practice of Nithyananda Yoga you feel tired, ill, dizzy, weak, or even uncomfortable, please immediately refrain yourself from doing the yoga and take some rest. Once you are fully recovered and feeling stable, you may continue the practice of Nithyananda Yoga if appropriate. During the Nithyananda Yoga, please remain in awareness and complete listening with your body. Do not exceed your body's limits and capacities, as we understand and recognize that every individual's body functions differently and uniquely. So it is important to respect and remain in awareness of your own body's limits and capacities while you're practicing the Nithyananda Yoga today. So with that said, we will now entering into today's sequence. Today, for all the participants, all of you are going to be looking at the asanas in the Panchama Vinyasa Krama. In the Panchama Vinyasa Krama, so you're going to be looking at the first series. So each asana, each level has two series in it. So first series and second series. So today you're going to be seeing the first series of the Panchama Vinyasa Krama. In this series, you're going to be looking into asanas where you're going to be balancing. You're going to be looking into balancing asanas and also putting one leg behind your neck and putting both the legs behind your leg and doing splits. Okay, so like this, and also you've been mainly working on your thigh muscles. Basically, you'll be working on your full body as well in the Nithyananda Yoga. So if you want any help in doing any of this asana, feel free to reach out to our co-acharyas. They're out here to guide you and support you in doing the Nithyananda Yoga. And if you're a live viewer joining us and watching us live right now, I request you to post a comment in the live comment section and we will guide you and support you to give you the best experience of the Nithyananda Yoga. So without any further delay, let's now enter into today's sequence.
the day is Siddhasana Chatwari. You're going to sit in a comfortable position with your spine upright. You're going to have one leg on top of the other. Draw one heel in towards the perineum. Cross your arms in front of your chest, keeping your shoulder relaxed and chest open. Maintain a steady breath and stable, centered posture. Visualize yourself as one who has already attained inner order, nothing to chase, nothing missing. In Shambhavi Mudra, Sit Kari Kumbhaka, gently pressing the tongue against the upper palate with the tip behind the front teeth, and slowly inhaling through the teeth to create a hissing sound. Mula Bandha, firmly contract the muscle of the pelvic floor, lifting upward without tension. In Ridru Drishti, looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Siddhasana Chatwari.
Siddhasana.
The next asana is Nivrityasanam. Again, in the same position, you're going to now cross your arms in front of your chest, keeping your shoulder relaxed and chest open. Visualize attention turning inwards as if the scenes gently disengage from the outer world and return home. In Shambhavi Mudra, Sit Kari Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Ridju Drishti looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Nithyasanam.
Nithyananda.
The next asana is Simhasana Chaturta. In Simhasana Chaturta, again in a seated position. Put your palms onto your knees, facing upwards. Just maintain a steady posture and steady breathing. You're going to now sit, bringing one heel close to the perineum and place the opposite foot above. Then you're going to visualize yourself as a majestic lion, body courage. In Shambhavi Mudra, Sit Kari Kumbhaka, remember to create a hissing sound. In Mula Bandha, Nasa Drishti to the nose with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Simhasana Chaturta.
दशासनेषु प्रथमं सिंहासनं द्वितीयं भद्रासनं तृतीयं पद्मासनं चतुर्थमुखमुखासनं पञ्चमं षष्ठं वज्रासनं सप्तमं वज्रासनं शङ्खासनं अष्टमासनं मत्स्यासनं नवमं मुष्टासनं दशमं शवासनं.
The next asana is Mriga Swastikasana. In Mriga Swastikasana, we're going to be coming back into a seated position again. Cross your right foot, rest on your left thigh. Left foot rest on your right thigh and sit in Padmasana. And bring your palms into a near mudra as shown by the acharyas. In Shambhavi Mudra, Sit Kari Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Ridju Drishti looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Visualize yourself as a deer in Mriga Swastikasana. Yes, ensure your back is straight. Visualize yourself as a gentle, alert deer in Mriga Swastikasana.
स्थातव्यौ भूतले पादौ वासनस्तेन योगिना दक्षिणं वामभागे तु वामपादं तु दक्षिणे.
The next asana is Sthirasana. In Sthirasana, you're going to come into again a seated position, but you're now going to be going into drawing one heel in towards the perineum and stack the opposite foot gently on top, allowing the knees to settle naturally. Interlace your finger in front of your stomach, keeping your shoulders relaxed and chest open. Visualize stable steadiness at the center, as if nothing inside you needs to shift or adjust. In Parashu Mudra, Siddhkari Kumbhaka, create a hissing sound as you slowly inhale through the teeth. In Mula Bandha, Rujya Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Sthirasana.
Sthirasana.
The next asana is Titataparnasana. Now you're going to be in a same seated position, but now you're going to get your arms above your head. So ensure that it's facing each other. Remember to continuously have awareness to keep your spine upright. Visualize steady inner heat building into the core in Shambhavi Mudra, Siddhkari Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rujya Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Sthitataparnasana.
Titatapasana.
The next asana is Pavanasana Dve. In Pavanasana Dve, you're going to be coming onto your knees. Now place your forefingers near the navel in front of the body while positioning the thumbs around to the back, holding the waist firmly. Keep your chest lifted and shoulder relaxed as you engage your core gently as you raise your feet off the ground behind you. You're going to maintain your balance with a steady breath and an upright position. Visualize inner wind being contained and directed rather than scattered, like air held under control instead of leaking in all directions. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, slightly contract the throat and draw the breath slowly into the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mula Bandha, contract the muscle of the pelvic floor, lifting upwards without tension. In Rujya Drishti, looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Pavanasana Dve.
Pavanasana.
The next asana is Purnapada Trikonasana. In Purnapada Trikonasana, you're going to spread in a kneeling position, bring your feet wider than the shoulder width, keeping the top of your feet flat on the ground and toes untucked. Bring your hands together in Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest. Visualize your base forming a complete unbroken triangle, each foot and knee contributing equally to the stability. In Namaskara Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, produce the sound of the ocean by slowly breathing into the nostril. In Mulabandha, Rujya Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Purnapada Trikonasana.
Purnapada Trikonasana.
The next asana is the Simhasana Pancha. In Simhasana Pancha, we're going to come into a seated kneeling position. Place the palm firmly on top of the knees, to the ground, to the body. Draw the chin to the throat. Visualize yourself as a powerful lion, steadfast. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, Nasagre Drishti, looking at the tip of the nose with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Simhasana Pancha.
Golbau Chavrashanasyaadau Yatkramen Yukamenordvaptapata Shitimulau Bhumi Samstau Karau Chajano Nopari Jalandaram Vyavastravaktam Nasagram Avalokayet Simhasanam Bhavede Tat Sarvavyadi Vinashanam.
The next asana is Ardha Vrikshasana. Now you're going to be coming into an inverted posture. So now you can also start partnering up, as this is going to be in an inverted posture. Let's see how the acharyas are going to be doing, and then you can partner up yourself. You're going to start from a kneeling position, interlace your finger, placing the back of your hands firmly on the ground to create a stable base. Lower the crown to your head in your palms, allowing the head to be gently supported while keeping most of your weight on your hand and forearm. Do not keep the weight on your crown center or your head or your neck. Remember, again, keep your weights in your hands and forearm. Lift your hip upwards, bring your knees off the ground, keeping them bent in the heels, drawing in close towards the buttocks and engage your core. So if you can see, the acharya is now helping. And also, we can also show you how it will look like with a partner. Visualize a young tree lifting itself upwards, roots firm, trunk forming. In Shirishi Mudra, rest the hand lightly upon the head. In Kevala Kumbhaka, allow the breath to pause naturally. Observe without forcing. In Mula Bandha, firmly contract the muscle of the pelvic floor. In Riju Drishti, looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Ardha Vrikshasana.
Ardha Vrikshasana.
Next, again, in an inverted posture, we're going to go into the next asana, Ardhangri Vikshasana. Again, in the same position, however, you're going to now lift the knees and extend the leg upwards, forming a firm vertical alignment. You're going to have and keep the elbow and forearm engaged to stabilize the body. Slowly bend one knee and bring the foot to the inside of the opposite thigh and hold it firmly. Visualize yourself as a slim, steady tree, roots from the Sahasrara chakra spreading wide beneath. In Shirishi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Riju Drishti, looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Ardhangri Vrikshasana. Yes, everyone can partner up.
Ardhangri Vrikshasana.
Beautiful. Now we're going to do the same asana, but you're now going to slowly bend the other knee. If you are now currently bending your right knee, now you go on to your left knee. Visualize yourself as a seam steady tree.
Ardhangri Vrikshasana.
Now we're going to slowly settle down into Anjalikasana. In Anjalikasana, you're going to come back down, kneeling on the ground with your knees hip width apart. Place both hands gently over your heart center, keeping your spine straight. Ground your sitting bones evenly into the floor. Visualize a radiant light glowing at your heart center. You express deep gratitude. Anjali Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Nasagra Drishti, looking at the tip of the nose. In the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Anjalikasana.
Januni Bhumau Nidhaya Hastattvayam Hridaye Sthapayet Anjalikasanam Idam Pranamasanam Iti.
The next asana is Mrityunjaya Asana. Now we're going to again come into an inverted position, inverted posture. So again, for all of you who needs help and support, get a partner. We're going to be lifting the knees. First First, you're going to interlace the finger at the back of your head for support. Lift the knees and extend the leg upwards, forming a firm vertical alignment. Keep the elbows and forearm grounded to stabilize the body. Visualize yourself being blessed by Lord Shiva, transcending any and all fears. In Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Riju Drishti looking straight, with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Mrityunjaya Asana.
मृत्युजयासनं नाम शिरसा भूमि स्पृशन् पादौ व्योम्नि ध्यायन् महादेव मृत्युञ्जयमृतं लभेत्.
The next asana is Urdhva Samyukta Padasana. Again, we're going to go into an inverted posture. Okay, in a seated position on your knees, interlace your finger, place the back of the hands on the ground, lean forward and place the crown of the head gently on your palm. Lift the knees and extend the leg upwards. Keep the elbow and forearms engaged. Slowly bend both your knees. Bring the soles of the feet together and hold it firmly. Visualize your joint feet as a small radiant moon above you, gently drawing energy upwards. Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Riju Drishti looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Urdhva Samyukta Padasana.
ऊर्ध्व संयुक्त पादासना.
The next asana is Khadgasana Purvanga. Again in the same position. Visualize the emerging edge of the strength resolve within you like a sword. In Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Riju Drishti looking straight, with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Khadgasana Purvanga.
पृष्ठिजानो प्रसार्य पादतले सममेव संयोजयेत्. यथाशक्ति कुम्भकस्थितो व्यायामं समुपारभेत्.
The next asana is Khadgasana. Again, we're going to be in the inverted posture. However, you're going to have both your legs up. Visualize a shining blade of a sword fully forged and steady in your hand, embodying clarity, precision and purposeful strength. In Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Riju Drishti looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Khadgasana.
भुजाङ्गुलिर्भिर्भूमौ निहत्य करयोरङ्गुलि सम्यक् बध्नीयात्. ललाटाग्रे भूमिस्थे कृत्वा कायं सम्यक् प्रसारयेत्. पूर्णकुम्भककाले पादौ अन्तः संयम्य धारयेत्. व्युक्षिप्त पादयो ज्ञानकट्या रूपं स्थितिं स्थापयेत्.
The next asana Urdhva Padmasana. In Urdhva Padmasana, you're going to again go into an inverted posture. However, why don't you all now rest, calm down for a moment, just sit down in your kneeling position. Ensure your blood flow is also happening properly. If by any chance you are feeling dizzy or you're feeling a little lightheaded, I suggest that you please stop doing the asana or posture and rest until you get the stability back again before continuing on to the next asana. As this asana series has a lot of inverted posture, so again, please get a help of a partner in Urdhva Padmasana. Okay, you're going to lower the crown of your head in your palms, keeping most of the weight supported through the hands and forearms. Lift your hips and bring your legs up carefully. You're going to visualize a lotus rising upwards from a still water rooted below, untouched by turbulence, opening cleanly towards clarity. In Parashumudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Rajudrishti looking straight with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om. Ensure that you are in the Padmasana position or with your legs.
Urdhva Padmasana.
The next asana is Mandalasanam. In Mandalasanam, from a seated position on your knees, place the crown of the head on your ground and interlace fingers at the back of your head. Keep the elbows and forearm grounded, bring the knees. With toes tucked, walk the feet in a circle, side, center, other side, back to front. Visualize a radiant, luminous mandala spinning steadily within you, with its intricate pattern glowing with vibrant light and energy. In Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Rajudrishti looking straight with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Mandalasanam.
Mandalasanam nama padabhyam bhumim sprishan hastabhyam cha paribhraman mandalakaram dakshinam vamam cha.
The next asana is Khadgasana Uttaranga. Okay, from a seated position on your knees, place the crown of the head on the ground and lift the leg upwards, forming a steady vertical balance. Extend the arms straight to the side with the back of a hand pressing into the ground, creating a tripod-like support to stabilize the body. Visualize a radiant sword with a blade capable of cutting down any external force. In Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Rajudrishti looking straight with a japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Khadgasana Uttaranga.
Mujangulir purvata prasarya padadvaye paschannam vidhaya udaram pronamya vagere chagena samkochaka kumbhakam sadhayet stiraha.
The next asana is Vajrasana Padakara Mudrasana. You're going to come into a kneeling position with your palms facing forward on top of your thighs. In Shakti Chalana Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Nasagre Drishti looking at the tip of the nose with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Vajrasana Padakara Mudrasana. Visualize asana. Visualize dynamic energy coursing through your legs and spine as this rapid motion loosens tension and deepens flexibility.
Vajrasana sthito yogi karabhyam pada yutam chalayedati vegena lauli bhavati nishchitam.
The next asana is Garudasana Sat. You're going to come into a position on your knees. Bring your knees together. Spread your feet wide apart. apart, rotate the inside of your feet towards the ground and rest your palms on respective knees. Visualize Garuda, majestic wings enveloping your body, wrapping you in a protective strength and expansive freedom. In Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjaya Kumbhaka, inhale through the nose and hold the breath. Then with a mental force, move the prana through all the different areas of the body. Mula Bandha, contract the muscle of the pelvic floor, lifting upwards without tension. In Riju Drishti, looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Garudasana Sat.
द्विजासनमप्यत्र कुक्कुटासनमुत्तमम् वणगुप्तासनं चैव गरुडासनमेव च.
The next asana is Gorakshasana Dve. In Gorakshasana Dve, start kneeling with your heels together and your knees wide apart, allowing the inner edge of your feet to rest on the ground with the soles facing towards one another. Settle your hips evenly as you lengthen your spine and lift your chest upright. Cross your arm behind your back and reach down to wrap the index finger, middle finger and thumb in Prana Mudra. Visualize the presence of Sage Goraksha, the master of systemized Hatha Yoga, as a practical path to self-realization. In Prana Mudra, Ujjaya Kumbhaka, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mula Bandha, Nasagra Drishti, looking at the tip of the nose with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Gorakshasana Dve.
Gorakshasana.
The next asana is Kurmasana Sat. In Kurmasana Sat, you're going to be coming onto your knees, spread them wide and bring your torso forward, resting your elbows slightly on your knees. Slowly bring your chest down towards the ground and rest your chin on the mat. Keep the heels together behind you and toes flat on the ground as you gaze forward. Visualize the steady, patient presence of a turtle, observing the world with calm wisdom. In Kurma Mudra, Ujjaya Kumbhaka, breathe slowly in through the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mula Bandha, Riju Drishti, looking straight, Dijapa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Kurmasana Sat.
कोर्मल देखना उदरे कर्मसन को रतिविधि करे कुरु कुरु वामि जंच परधने उपज दहनो पार्श्वमोपगलग गुद्धारिबिक.
The next asana is Adkogasanas. In Adkogasana, you're going to place your palms on the ground and then you're going to lift your hips up. Ensure your arms and your legs are also pressed down to the ground. Engage your legs and core. Visualize yourself as a graceful, mystical bird, majestic in your descent. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjaya Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Nasagri Drishti, looking at the tip of the nose with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Adkogasana.
ऊर्ध्वकागो मध्यकागस्तथा दोकगा इष्यते निराधारो पिचकस्या चिदंगवरदिहा.
The next asana is Alidasana. In Alidasana, you're going to come into a kneeling position. Have your right leg coming forward and your left position to the back. Ensure your tips are curled up. Tuck the toes up of the back foot under. Keep back leg mostly straight and grounded. Extend the arm on the other side as the front leg forward in a fist while drawing the opposite arm back in a fist close to the chest. Visualize yourself as a focused, honorable archer, steady and unwavering. In Dhanuvama Mudra, Ujjaya Kumbhaka, retain. You're going to breathe slowly into the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mula Bandha, Riju Drishti, looking straight, Dijapa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Alidasana.
प्रकर्तव्यं सव्यं चैवानुकुञ्चितं दक्षिणं तु पुरस्तद्वदुरपदे विशिष्यते.
The next asana is Ardha Chandrasana Dve Uttaranga. Start standing with your feet wide apart and your front foot pointing forward. Bend your front knee deeply and lift your front heel off the ground. Lower your torso towards your front thigh as you reach your top arm over beyond your head for a long side stretch. Visualize the cool moonlight rising through your spine, feeling the steady calming energy. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Parshve Drishti looking to the side with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Ardha Chandrasana Dve Uttaranga.
भुजेन जानुं वेष्टयित्वा मूर्धनं भूमौ नयेत् निदेशिककुम्भकं कृत्वा श्वासं सप्तधा साधयेत्.
The next asana is Baddha Parvakonasana. Parshvakonasana. You're going to, from a standing position, step your left leg forward into a deep lunge. Lean forward slightly, thread your left arm under the front thigh, reaching around the back. Bring your arm around your back to grasp the left wrist. Rotate your torso towards the front leg, lift and open the chest. Visualize being firmly bound by a strong unbreakable rope of discipline and focus in Parashumudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha Parshve Drishti looking to the side with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Baddha Parshvakonasana.
कक्षयोर्पादसन्धिश्च धारणं कथेत बुधः उदरस्कन्धयोश्चैव धारणं वारपादयोः.
The next asana is Adva Akashastaka Stataka Asana. Okay, you're going to come, press your hands into the heels, into the ground and tuck the toes, lifting the heels as you raise the hips into a V shift. Weight onto your left hand and foot. Lift and rotate the right leg, place the right foot behind you. Extend the right arm overhead and engage the core. Visualize yourself as a radiant, untethered, mystical bird, soaring freely with your chest lifted towards the sky. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rajudrishti looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Urdhva Kashastataka Asana.
ऊर्ध्वकागो मध्यकागस्तदादोकागैष्यते निधरोऽपि च चागस्याक् चिदङ्गवरादिः.
The next asana is Pratyalidha Asana at Pashvantare. You're going to now repeating the same sequence but on the other side. You're going to come into a squatting position where you have now your opposite left thigh coming forward into a kneeling position. Ensure the 90-degree bend in the front knee. Tuck the toes of the back foot under and keep the back leg mostly straight and grounded. Extend the arm on the same side. Ensure your hips are facing forwards. Keep the torso upright. Visualize yourself as a focus archer. In Dhanuvama Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rajudrishti looking straight with a japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Pratyalidhasana.
आकृतो वामपादस्य दक्षिणं चानुकुञ्चितं प्रत्यालीडं प्रकर्तव्यं हस्तद्वयसंस्थितं सविस्थितम्.
The next asana is Ardha Chandrasana Dve Uttaranga Pashvantare. Again on the other side. Lower your torso towards front thigh as you reach your top arms over beyond your head for a long side stretch. Place your lower hand lightly near your ankle for support. Visualize cool moonlight rising through your spine, feeding you with steady calming energy. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Pashva Drishti looking to the side, Rajapa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Ardha Chandrasana. Dve Uttaranga.
भुजेन जानम वेष्टयित्वा मूर्धानं भूमौ नयेत् निदेशककुम्भकं कृत्वा श्वासं सप्तदा साधयेत्.
The next asana is Baddha Parshva Konasana. Now you're going to have your right leg forward into a deep lunge, keeping the back leg straight, lean forward slightly and thread your right arms under the front thigh, reaching around towards the back. Bring your left arm around your back to grasp the right wrist, forming a bind. Rotate your torso towards the front leg and lift and open the chest. Visualize being firmly bound by a strong, unbreakable rope of discipline and focus in Paramashiva, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Pashve Drishti looking to the side, Rajapa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Baddha Parshva Konasana.
कक्षयोर्पादसन्धिश्च धारणं कातेदबुध उदरस्कन्धयोश्चैव शल्पम् करादयोः.
The next asana is Urdhva Akasha Stataka Asana. Now you're going to come into a bending posture. Place your legs to the front, root it properly to find your balance. Then you're going to have one of your arm, placing your arm at the back, and then stretching out the other arm above your head into a V shift. Extend the left arm overhead and engage the core. Visualize yourself as a radiant, untethered, mystical bird, soaring freely with your chest lifted towards the sky. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Again, Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Breathe slowly into the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. Mula Bandha. Contract the muscle of the pelvic floor. And Urdhva Drishti, looking upwards with a japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Urdhva Akasha Stataka Asana.
ऊर्ध्वका गोमध्यकागस्तथा दोकागैच्यते निराधरमपि निराधरारोऽपि चागः स्याच्चिदङ्गवरदाहिः.
The next asana is Bhairava Padasana. Come from a plank position, toes tucked and hands flat. Slowly lower your knees, chest and chin down so they lightly touch the floor. Maintain your hips lifted and spine long, and avoid letting elbows flare wide by tucking them into your side. Visualize Lord Kalabhairava seated firmly in your heart, blazing like a dark, intense sun, and fierce power and time unstoppable force. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, breathe slowly into the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mula Bandha, Urdhva Drishti, looking upwards with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Bhairava Stapadasana.
अष्टपादासने स्थित्वा भैरवं हृदि धारयेत्. कुक्कुटासनवत् प्रोक्तं जानुष्मादि वादो विलोचनम्.
The next asana Madhyakagasana. Again, stay in the same posture with lying down. You are going to come and stretch out your back by lifting your front hands upwards with your chest open up wide. Feel the deep stretch on your lower spine. Press through the palms and on top of the feet, lift the chest forward and up. Visualize yourself as a bird soaring upwards, embodying freedom, confidence in Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Urdhva Drishti, looking upwards to the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Madhyakagasana.
ऊर्ध्वगागो मध्यकागस्तथा अधोकागैच्यते निधरारोऽपि च कागस्यच्चिदङ्कवरादिः.
The next asana is Ekapadasana Trini. Now you're going to be coming into a standing posture where you're going to be lifting one leg up to the sky or as high as possible. This is more of a balancing posture. Keep your palms flat to the ground. Have your one leg rooted. Find your balance and then lift the other leg completely up and as straight as possible. Again, if you need a partner, you please also get a partner so they'll be able to do this posture together with you. Visualize a radiant beam of light flowing through from the cosmic source to your crown in Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Nasagre Drishti, looking through the tip of the nose with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Ekapadasana Trini.
मत्स्येन्द्रं पार्श्वमत्स्येन्द्रं बद्धमत्स्येन्द्रमेव च निरालम्बं च चन्द्राख्यं कण्ठं चैकपादकम्.
The next asana is Ekapadasana Trini Pashvantare. Do the same thing on the other side. If you lift your right leg all the way up, now you're going to be doing the same thing but lifting the opposite side.
मत्स्येन्द्रं पार्श्वमत्स्येन्द्रं कण्ठमत्स्येन्द्रमेव च निरालम्बनचन्द्राख्यं कण्ठं चैकपादकं कण्ठवं चैकपादकम्.
The next asana is Vrikshasana Trini. In Vrikshasana Trini, you're going to come in a standing posture and you're going to be experiencing a deep back bend by stretching your whole arms and bringing it backwards as you're standing. Press your hip gently forward as you lift your chest. Engage your core to support the movement, but ensure you're not straining the lower spine. Tilt your head back and lean in a controlled back bend. If you need to have support, please take partner's help. See a strong tree in your mind, roots gripping the earth. In Anjali Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Urdhva Drishti, looking upwards to the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Vrikshasana Trini.
Vrikshasana.
The next asana in is yes, everyone can come into a standing posture. You ensure you're also helping anyone around you that needs.
भैरवं कामदहनं कालिपात्रं च गर्भकं स्वस्तिकं गोमुखं वीरं मन्दूकं मर्कटासनम्.
The next asana is Kadadi Asana. Kantadi Asana. You're going to come into a slightly squatting position, knees bent at 90 degrees angle. Keep the spine straight, raise your arms up parallel. Visualize yourself as Lord Shiva, grounded and unwavering. Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. In Riju Drishti, looking straight. Looking straight with a japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Markata, in Kantadi Asana.
Kantadi Asana.
The next asana is Kaundinyasana. Now you're going to come into a balancing posture. Start by bending your knees and sinking your hips down. Twist your torso to one side and bring both hands to the mat, shoulder width apart. Place the thighs of your bent leg on the opposite upper arm. Bending the elbow to create a shelf. Engage your core and lean forward. Shifting your weights onto your hand. Lift your feet off the floor. Engage your core and lean forward, shifting your weight onto your hand. Lift your feet off the floor, bringing your heels towards your glutes. Visualize yourself as Kaundinya Maharishi in Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Riju Drishti, looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Kaundinyasana.
वासिष्ठवदगौण्डिन्यम् ऊतुकुक्रमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
The next asana is Kaundinyasana on the other side.
Kaundinyasana. वासिष्ठवदगौण्डिन्यम् ऊतुकुक्रमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
The next asana is Manduki Pavasana. Now you're going to come into a plank position, tucking your toes onto the ground, having one palm on the ground, then lifting the other onto your back. Engage your core muscle. This is a great core workout. Visualize yourself as a frog at rest, low, alert, poised. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Prithvi Drishti looking downwards, with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Manduki Pavana, Power Asana.
Manduki Asana.
The next asana is do the other side, Manduki Pavasana Parshvantare. So that means you're going to lift your other arm. If you've lifted your right, now you're lifting your left arm towards the back. Maintain a steady posture. Do not have your shoulder going above, crossing over your toes. This is a great core workout. So as much as possible, engage your core muscle. Feel the burn.
Manduki Asana.
The next asana is Hamsa Asana Trini. Start kneeling with palms on the mat just below your navel. Lean forward and bend your elbows to stack them up under your wrists. Lift both legs straight up to the balance on your hand. Keep your gaze forward for stability and avoiding collapsing your chest by pressing firmly into the mat. Visualize yourself as a serene swan, poised with elegance and effortless balance. Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha part, Prithvi Drishti looking downwards with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Hamsasana Trini.
Hamsasana Trini. Hamsasaram Nama Karatallo Nidayo Dhare Padu Prishte Samutapya Hamsava Vicharet Buddha.
Start standing with your feet wide apart and hinge forwards from your hips. Bow your head towards the ground as low as comfortable. Extend your arms behind you and interlace your finger firmly. Place hands away from your back for a stretch. Avoid locking your knees. Visualize yourself extending deeply in a bow towards Paramashiva, boarding your wise and compassionate Guru. In Parshvamudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Jalandhara Bandha, Prithvi Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Prasaritasana.
Kurya Tanmukam tu Pranamitam Prishtatopu Apadanashtam Samprasavyam Karadayam.
The next asana. Stand with feet width wide, knees bent at 90 degrees and stacked above the ankle, thighs parallel to the ground. Keep the spine straight and chest tilted slightly downwards. Rest your hands on top of the respective knees with elbows locked and hold firmly. Embody Goddess Kali. Both energy standing is centered and unshaken. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, breathe slowly into the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mula Bandha, Riju Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva.
उत्कटकोणासनाद्वे सप्तचक्रक्षारदाय वृक्षाश्रविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदाध्याय कोलभेतान् समप्यसेत्.
The next asana is Parivrita Utkata Konasana. Stand with the feet wide, knees bent at 90 degrees and stacked above the ankle, thighs parallel to the ground. Rest your hand on top of your respective knee with elbows locked, then twist your upper torso to the left, raising the chest upwards. As your body turns, imagine Goddess Kali rising within in Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Riju Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Pravrita Utkata Konasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षारदाय वृक्षाश्रविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदाध्याय कोलभेतान् समप्यसेत्.
Stand with the feet width, knees bent at 90 degrees and stacked above the ankle. Keep the spine straight, chest tilted. Rest your hand on top of your respective knees with elbows locked and then twist your upper torso to the left. As your body is turning, imagine Goddess Kali rising within. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Riju Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Pravrita Utkata Konasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षारदाय वृक्षाश्रविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदाध्याय कोलभेतान् समप्यसेत्.
The next asana is Utkata Konasana. Now come into a squatting position where the knees are bent at a 90 degrees, stacked above the ankle. Keep the spine straight. Raise your arm parallel to the ground and bend your both 90 degrees angles, facing the palms outward. Visualize embodying Goddess Kali, fierce grace, strength, clarity and inner freedom. Shambhavi Mudra. Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Riju Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Utkata Konasana.
जननेन्द्रियदाध्याय कोलभेतान् समप्यसेत्.
The next asana is Ganasana. In Ganasana, you're going to stand straight. Let your arms rest naturally by your side with the shoulder relaxed. Maintain a steady breath and calm.
visualizing yourself becoming dense and contained like a solid block that cannot be disturbed or scattered. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, contract the throat, draw the breath slowly into the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mulabandha, Ruju Drishti, looking straight, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva.
Ganasana.
The next asana is Tula Dandasana. In Tula Dandasana, start standing tall in Tadasana with your feet together. Inhale and lift your arms straight overhead, clasping your hands with index finger pointing up. Shift your weight slowly onto one foot and begin the raise the opposite leg straight behind you while hanging forward at the hips. Visualize your body strong and straight in perfect balance like a firm staff. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Prithvi Drishti, looking downwards at the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Tula Dandasana.
Tuladandasanam nama pado bhumo stapayitva shariram tuladandavat sabam dharayet ityuchyate.
The next asana is the same thing on the other side.
Tuladandasanam. Tuladandasanam nama pado bhumo stapayitva shariram tuladandavat sabam dharayet ityuchyate.
The next asana is Niradra Adakagasana. Now you're going to need a partner for sure, unless you're able to lift yourself by yourself in the air. Now you're going to form a deep squat with hands in prayer position. Lean forward, engage the core, lift your hips while straightening your legs. Shift your weight onto your hands, keep the arms straight and lift your feet off the ground. Draw the legs up so they form a 90-degree angle at the hip. Visualize yourself as a powerful mystical bird, flying straight and strong, soaring. Now you're going to do in Shambhavi Mudra Samavriti Mulabandha Prithvi Drishti, looking downwards with the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Min Niradara Adakagasana.
Vama Dakshina Kagya. वामदक्षिणकभ्याभं सगः च कथेत स्मराः ऊर्ध्वकाको मध्यकाकस्तथा काको स उच्यते निराधारोऽपि च काकः व्याघ्रादिध्वज लोचयेत्.
The next asana is an inverted posture, Hastasana. Again, if you need help of a partner, please go ahead and do so. You're going to come into a deep squat with hands in prayer. Lean forward, engage the core, lift your hips while straightening your legs. Place your palm firmly on the ground in front of you. Shift your weight onto your hands, keeping the arms straight, and lift your feet off the ground. Draw the legs up so they form a 90-degree angle at the hips. Engaging the core fully, visualize yourself grounded yet powerful through focus, awareness, and inner strength. in Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti, Mula Bandha, Prithvi Drishti, looking downwards with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Hastasana.
हस्तासनं नाम करतलौ भूमौ स्थापयित्वा पादौ पृष्ठे संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां धारयेत्.
The next asana. The next asana is Hasta Vrikshasana. Again, you may need a partner for this, as it's a much more advanced asana. It's basically a one hand handstand. You're going to be careful, ensure that your partner is completely safe, and while you are doing it completely safe, stand tall, hip fit width apart. Then you're going to engage your core. Go down, forward the hips, place both hands firmly on the ground and kick both legs up, bringing the body into a full handstand with arms straight. Once you're stable, you're going to lift the other hand off the ground, balancing on a single arm, while the supporting shoulder active, spine aligned. Visualize yourself as a tree, firmly rooted in the ground. In Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti. Mula Bandha, Prithvi Drishti, with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Hasta Vrikshasana. Hasta Vrikshashanam Nama Eka Hastena Bhumim Sprishan Aparam Hastamurdvam Kritva Vrikshavat Vijrambet. The next asana, Eka Hasta Niradhara Kagasana. You're going to do the same thing on the other side, visualizing yourself, entire body lifting smoothly and effortlessly beyond. Ensure once you're stable, gradually shift your weight onto your other arm. To the left, if it's right to the left. In Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti, Mula Bandha, Prithvi Drishti, looking downwards with japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Eka Hasta Niradhara Kagasana. Utva Kago Matya Kagastata Doka Gaishyate Niradhara Rupa Chicha Kasyachit Angavatiha. The next asana is Hasta Vrikshasana. Again, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. A lot of inverted single hand posture. Hasta Vrikshasanam Nama Eka Hastena Bhumim Shvashan Aparam Hastamurdvam Kritva Vrikshavat Vijrambet. The next asana is again Eka Hasta Niradhara Kagasana. Ensure your visualization is now shifted. Visualize your entire body lifting smoothly and effortlessly upwards. In Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti. Samavritti means inhaling through the nose and exhaling evenly. In Mula Bandha, contract the muscle of the pelvic floor. In Prithvi Drishti, looking downwards to the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Eka Hasta Niradhara Kagasana. Utva Kago Matya Kagastata Doka Gaishyate Niradharopa Chicha Kasyachit Angavatiha. The next asana. Everyone, you can come into your relaxing position. So everyone, please settle down. Start seated with knees stacked. Right knees over left in Gomukhasana position. Raise your elbow upwards and cross the hands behind your back, holding onto the opposite shoulder. Hold steady with the spine upwards. Avoid overarching lower back or slumping. Visualize yourself embodying the gentle awareness of a cow's face, soft, wide open, eyes wide open to the world with calm patience. In Shambhavi Mudra, Apakashaka Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Nasa Agre Drishti, looking at the tip of the nose with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Gobukasana Trini. Bhairavam Kamadana, Hanam Panipatam Chakarmukam, Swastikam Gomukam Viram Mandukam Markatasanam. The next asana is Gomukam Chatvari. Again, you're going to be seated in the same position. However, you're going to raise your right elbow upward and place the right hand behind your back and clasp onto the finger with your left hand coming from below and up. Visualize yourself as a gentle, intelligent cow embodying calm patience, deep nurturing care and grounded strength. In Shambhavi Mudra, Upper Kashaka Kumbhaka, partially closing the nose and doing the Rejaka Purushka is the Upper Kashaka Kumbhaka. In Mulabandha, Bruvantya Drishti, looking through the third eye with the japa. In the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Gomukasana Chatvari. Siddham Padmam Tata Simham Bhadram Vajram Cham Muttamam Guptam Gomukam Ekam Cha Viram Swastikam Evacha. The next asana is Bandha Pashva Avesha. In the same seated position, you're going to bring your left hand behind your back and hold onto your right arm, keeping your right hands onto your belly. Lean towards your right side and bring your forehead towards the ground. Visualize your Kundalini. Visualize your Kundalini rising up your spine through your chest and the crown of your hand. In Shambhavi Mudra, Upper Kashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Prithvi Drishti, looking downwards with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Bandha Pashva Avesha. Dara Yitva Prishte Sayana Katim Nish Kuchya Tridam Uttolayet. The next asana is Syena Hasana. Syena Hasana, you're going to be coming into a position where you're crossing your right foot, keeping the knees raised. Place the right foot flat onto the ground outside of the bent left knee. Take your left hand on, hold on to the left knee and twist your upper body towards the right, bringing your right arm keeping behind your back and holding on to the opposite hip. Keep your spine elongated and avoid arching as you twist. Visualize yourself with the eagle's sharp vision, seeing your path clearly ahead. In Shambhavi Mudra, Upper Kashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Parshva Drishti, looking to the side in the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Syena Hasana. Vamam Padam Dakshina Tale Stapayitva Dradam Nyase Dakshina Kaksaya Vama Janum Kashati Gritaye Tatra. The next asana is Syena Hasana Purvanga. Again in the same position for your leg. The only thing that you're going to be doing is take your right hands and hold on to the left foot at the hip, but you're going to open your chest towards the left side, then raise your left arm straight up, palm facing outwards. See yourself soaring like an eagle, lifting effortlessly on your powerful wings. Keep your spine elongated and avoid arching. Shambhavi Mudra, Upper Kashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Parshva Drishti, looking to the side with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Syena Hasana Purvanga. Vamam Padam Dakshina Tale Stapayitva Dradam Nyase Dakshina Kakshaya Vama Janum Kashati Gritaye Tatra. The next asana is Gomatsendrasana. In Gomatsendrasana, you're going to come into the same position where your left knee bent and foot at the right hip. Cross your right foot, keeping the knees raised. Take your left hand and place it under. So this asana, take your left hand under the raised knee and wrap your right arm behind your back, holding onto your left wrist. See yourself as a bow drawn back with steady focused tension in Parashumudra, Upper Kashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Parshva Drishti, looking to the side with a japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Apologize for the technical glitch now that we're back. So we left off in Gomatsendrasana. Now we're going to go to the other side. The next asana is Ardhasanam Pashvantare. Now you're going to come into a seated position. From a seated position, bring one foot, place it on top of the opposite thigh. Keep the other leg bent beneath you or extend it comfortably. Sit upright with the spine tall. Rest the hands on the knees or thighs, palms facing up or down. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva in your inner space in Vaishnavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Brahmandya Drishti, looking through the third eye with the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Ardhasanam. Karumasanamapi Shreshtam Dandurasanam Uchyate Gajasanam Samudishtam Tato Drashanam Uchyate. The next asana is Vamachaturam Sapadasana. In this position, you're going to again come back into a seated position, stacking one knee directly over the other. So the left leg fold in towards the center. Ensure that your sitting bones ground evenly. Keep your spine tall. Maintain an open chest. Interlace your finger in front of your stomach, allowing your hands to rest lightly against the lower abdomen, and visualize balance returning through the left side as if subtle imbalances are being corrected and brought back into harmony. Parashumudra, Aprakashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandhana Sagre Drishti, looking to the tip of the nose with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Vamachaturam Sapadasana. Vamachaturam Sapadasana. The next asana is Charpati Asana. Again in the same posture. Now you're going to be shifting your palms. Place it at the back of your hands on the respective hip, perhaps facing outwards. Keep your spine tall, breathe deeply, visualize grounded patience, rhythmic precision, unhurried power, quiet reliability, resilient focus, and steady endurance, honed through tireless repetition. In Shambhavi Mudra, Aprakashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rajudrishti, looking straight, japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Charpati Asana. Charpati Asana. The next asana is Govinda Asana. In Govinda Asana, the same posture, you're going to bring your palms. Place the back of your hands onto your thighs, palms facing upwards. Keep your spine tall. Visualize yourself seated as a calm guardian, steady and unhurried, holding space rather than exerting control. In Shambhavi Mudra, Aprakashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rajudrishti, looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Govindasana. Govindasana. The next asana, again coming into the same position. However, you're going to be slightly in Lowly Asana. You're going to hold the respective hands and keep your spine elongated. You're going to pull the abdomen inwards and upwards in Uddiyana Bandha and roll the abdominal muscle right, left, or in a circle. Basically, in this bandha, your whole stomach is actually rotating. It's moving. So, in Shakti Chalana Mudra, Aprakashaka Kumbhaka, visualize your Kundalini awakening from the base of your spine. In Ashagre Drishti, looking at the tip of the nose with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Lowly Asana. Sarvanga Chalana Deva Kundalini Shakti Chalanam Chalanat Kundali Dev Yas Chetana Sapavet Prabho Gomukasana Maruhya Dritva Pada Yugam Karau Chalayet Udaram Pasche Lowly Sadanam Bhavet. The next asana is Janu Prena Hasana. In Janu Prena Hasana, in your cross-legged come into knee stacked, left knee over right in Gomukhasana position. Wrap your index and middle finger around the respective big toes in Prana Mudra. Then you're going to lean gently over the raised knee, lowering your chest and forehead towards your thigh for a deep side stretch. Keep your spine long and shoulder relaxed. Avoid collapsing your chest. Visualize your Kundalini as a sacred flame being ignited by a spinning stick, creating glowing embers to awaken a powerful fire deep within. In Prana Mudra, Apakashaka Kumbhaka Mulabandha Prithvi Drishti, looking downwards with a japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Janu Prerana Hasana. Janu Pidanam Kritva Madhyam Samvyadakshinam Prerayete. The next asana is Pada Samyukta Pravitasana. Now in a seated position, in the same crossed knee stacked over the other. This time you're going to cross your arms and wrap your index middle finger. Lean gently over the raised knees side, lowering your chest and forehead towards your thigh in a deep side stretch. Keep your spine long and shoulders relaxed. Visualize a Kundalini awakening along your spine, gently flowing upwards as you sit with legs crossed. In Prana Mudra, Prakashaka Kumbhaka Mulabandha Parshva Drishti, looking at the side with a japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Pravitti Hasana. Pada Samyukta Pravitti Hasana. Kuncha Yitva Hasta Tale Nivesya Grivam Adikam Parivartayet. The next asana is Ganeshasana. In Ganeshasana Pashvantare, you're going to be coming into a same position, knee stacked, but cross your arms behind your back and hold onto the opposite toes. You're going to visualize Shiva's pose, Shivanika, at the base of the spine, shooting upwards, piercing all the chakras. Prana Mudra, Aprakashaka Kumbhaka, Uddiyana Bandha, Nasagre Drishti, looking through the tip of the nose, looking at the tip of the nose with a japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Ganeshasana. Gomukhe samstittim kritva parshni vyaptyasya yukmake. Tatra Shivanikam stapya Ganeshashanam iritam. The next asana is Bandha Pashva Aveshasana. Again, in a knee stack, left knee over right in Gomukhasana. Bring your right hand behind your back and hold on to your left arm, keeping towards your left hand on your back. Nithyananda, we apologize for the technical glitch. Now we're going to be continuing on with our asana. So everyone, please come back into a seating posture. So we're going to continue on with our next asana. The next asana is, we're going to go into Siena. We're going to go into Siena Hasana Purvanga Dve. In Siena Hasana Purvanga Dve, you're going to start seated with your right knees bent and foot at the left hip. Cross your left foot. Cross your left foot, keeping the knees. Yes, Nithyananda, in Tiruvannamalai, everyone can come into a seated position and follow along with our Acharya as we're going on to the next asana. We apologize as we were facing a technical issue and now it's fixed. So take your left hand and hold on to the right foot, opening your chest towards the right side in the opposite direction. Raise your right arm straight up, palms facing outward. See yourself soaring like an eagle, lifting effortlessly on powerful wings in Shambhavi Mudra, Prakashaka Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Parshva Drishti looking to the side, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om in Siena Hasana Purvanga Dve. Vamam Vadam Dakshina Talesta Payitva Yase Dakshina Kakasaye Vama Janu Kasati Gratayate Ye Tatra. The next asana is Gomatsendrasana. The next asana is Gomatsendrasana. The next asana is Gomatsendrasana. Cross your left foot, keeping the knees raised, and place the left foot flat on the ground outside of the bent right knee. Take your right hand and place it under the raised left knee. And wrap your left arm behind your back, holding onto your right wrist. Visualize yourself as a bow, drawn back with steady tension, embodying poised power in Shambhavi Mudra, Aprakashaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Parshva Drishti looking to the side, the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Gomatsendrasana. Dhanurakashaka Kristva Dhanur Asana Miritam Vamoru Mularpita Dakshapadam Janurbavirve Veshtita Vamadoshanan. The next asana is Ardha Kurmasana. In Ardha Kurmasana, you're going to be coming into a sitting with your knees on the ground and toes flat outside your hip. Exhale, lower to the chest, to the floor. Keep hips between the heels, palms in your prayer position between the throat with the tips with the finger touching the chin. Visualize yourself as a tranquil, steadfast tortoise drawing inwards for shelter and renewal. In Kurma Mudra Ujjaye Kumbhaka, contract the throat, draw the breath slowly into the nostril, producing the sound of the ocean. In Mulabandha, firmly contracting the muscle of the pelvic floor, lifting it upwards without tension. In Nasagra Drishti, looking at the tip of the nose with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Ardha Kurmasana. Ardha Kurmasanam Nama Pada Prishti Samarpitau Hastau Chapashvaro Stapya Shirapra Namit Bhuvi. The next asana is Sauri Asana. In Sauri Asana, come to a kneeling position with your toes tucked and sitting bones on the back of your heel. Spread your knees out wide, place palms on respective after thigh, so the finger point upwards towards the body. Keep your spine long and chest upright as you hold the position. Engage your core gently for stability. Feel the sun's warm, steady glow centering in your body core, nourishing you with vital life force. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjaye Kumbhaka, Uddiyana Bandha, Riju Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Sauri Asana. Sauri Asana. The next asana is Dakshina Grihi Pavasana Muktasana. You're going to place the opposite, you're going to sit with one heel drawn in close to the perineum. Place the opposite foot flat on the ground with the knees raised upwards, keeping your spine long. Thread your arms across one another in front of your chest, sliding them between your torso. Maintain steady breath and upright posture as you settle into the position. You're going to visualize trap pressure and restlessness being squeezed out cleanly from the lower body like air released from a sealed chamber. Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rigid Drishti looking straight with the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Dakshina Giri Pavana Muktasana. Dakshina Giri Pavana Muktasana. The next asana is Ardha Paschimottanasana. In Ardha Paschimottanasana, sit with one leg stretched out, straight in front. Place the heel of your other foot firmly against the perineum to apply gentle pressure. Extend your arm forward to grip the toes of the stretched leg. Lean your head forward to rest above thin bent knees. Visualize your extended leg grounding your energy with the heels pressing gently into the perineum to anchor prana. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Prithvi Drishti looking downwards to the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Ardha Paschimottanasana. Padam Tirnam Kuryat Padasya Esa Gute Sanipata Karita Uksipya Padangushtam Sapinordvam Stapa Yete. The next asana is Vama Vakrasana. Vama Vakrasana. You're going to come into a kneeling position. Ensure you're sitting on your bones for your support. Bring your left knee to the south side of your left hip. Lengthen your spine. Place your hands in front of your stomach, one resting on top of the other, and maintain a steady breath. Visualize all patterns loosening the grip as you turn gently to the left, like untwisting a rope without force. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rigid Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Vamakrasana, Vama Vakrasana. The next asana is Vamangri Hipavana Muktasana. In this asana, you're going to come seated with one heel drawn in close to the perineum, grounding your weight evenly. Place the opposite foot flat on the ground with the knees raised upwards. Thread your arms across one another in front of your chest, sliding them between your torso, and lift thigh to create a secure hold. Visualize accumulated tension and stagnant energy releasing gently from the side, like pressure slowly easing out without resistance. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rigid Drishti looking straight with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Vamangri Pavana Muktasana. Vamangri Pavana Muktasana. The next asana is Ardha Paschimottanasana. In Ardha Paschimottanasana, you're going to be repeating the series on the other side. Place the heel, sit with one leg stretched out straight in front, and place the heel of your other foot firmly against the perineum. Extend your arms forward to grip the toes and of the stretched leg. Lean your head forward to rest above the bent knees. Keep your spine long. Visualize yourself as the guardian of the West, embodying the vast flowing power of water, cosmic oceans like Lord Varuna. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Prithvi Drishti looking downwards to the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Ardha Paschimottanasana, Padam Vishtirnam Kuryat Padasya Esa Gute Sanipata Karita Uksipya Pandangushtam Sapinordvam Stapayete. The next asana is Dakshina Vrikshasana. In Dakshina Vrikshasana, you're going to come into a seated kneeling position. Sitting bone, please, with your left heels resting beneath your sitting bones for support, bring your right knees to the outside of your right hip. Lengthening your spine as you gently twist your upper body towards the right, keeping the movement soft and controlled. Place your hands in front of your stomach, one resting on the top of the other. Visualizing the body realigning through a clean turn to the right as if internal systems are being reset into proper order. In Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Rigid Drishti looking straight with japa Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. In Dakshina Vrikshasana. Dakshina Vrikshasana. The next asana is Kapotasana Dve. In Kapotasana Dve, you're going to be coming into a kneeling position. Bring your hands onto the ground and extend one leg straight backwards. Keep the opposite knees bent, heels slightly crossed inwards towards the groin. Bring your hands to the respective hip and push the hip and chest forward. Gently lean your upper body back and open the chest. Visualize yourself as a serene dove embodying grace and calm strength. in Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Urdhva Drishti, looking upward to the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Kapotasana Dve. Langar Darada Padam Ekam Prasarya Anyam Ankuncha Guhye Nyasa Pura Kekashtita Hastaha Prashtam Utvajya Kapota Karam Sirordvam Dharayit Stira. The next asana is Kapotasana Dve Purvanga. The next asana is we're going to go into Kapotasana Dve Purvanga. And from a kneeling position, bring your hands onto the ground in front of you. Extend one leg straight backwards. Keep the opposite knees bent and heels slightly crossed inwards towards the groin. Bring your hands to the respective hip and push the hip and chest upwards. Gently lean your upper body back and open up the chest as you lift the head upwards. Visualize yourself as a dove, poised in graceful readiness, radiating a harmonious blend of strength and ease in Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha. Urdhva Drishti, looking upward to the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashiva in Kapotasana Dve Purvanga. Prasarita Padangushtam Shira Prishve Vinamaye Kaya Chalana Purvam Vyayamam Samachare. Smasana Vasana. Now you're going to be Smasana Vasamasadya Deham Dhyayit Prajvalitam. Now please relax. So now we're going to wiggle your fingers and your toes, and you're going to get your knees up to your belly. Just twist it side to side and hold it like a ball, twist it side to side. Yes, give your spine a really good release. And now come into a seated position. We have ended our Nithyananda Yoga session, and now let's end the session with a gratitude in our inner space for an amazing morning of Nithyananda Yoga. Thank you, Swamiji, for giving this to us in the form of our morning routine. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padaka Paramastu. Om